Hi everyone, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com, and today I want to show you how to sew a little purse and give you some tips on teaching kids how to sew. Welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping in again. I am so excited today because my daughter, little C, is joining me today, and she is going to help you learn how to sew a simple little purse. Do you want to show your purse to everyone, little C? So little C is just learning how to sew. So together we're going to show you how to sew this adorable little purse with a flower embellishment. And then I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to teach your children to sew. And we've been having a really good time this spring break sewing together. What do you want to say about your purse, little C?
I don't know.
So how simple was this purse to sew?
Hard and easy.
So what was the hard part about it?
I'm sewing in the hole.
So we did have to leave a hole so we could flip the purse right side out. So that was the hard part?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the easy part?
The rest.
So the whole thing was easy except for one part. So I think this purse should be pretty easy for everybody to sew. And it's actually a really great project if you want to teach your kids. For this project, you need half a yard of cotton fabric, a hard ruler and scissors, a sewing machine and needle and thread, button or gem embellishment, and a glue gun. Measure and cut out 4 rectangles of fabric that each measure 9 inches by 7 inches. I just use a hard ruler and a pen to cut out my shape. And then I fold the rest of my fabric over 3 times, using my first piece as a guide, cut out the other 3 shapes. And that's a really quick and easy way to cut out 4 evenly sized rectangles of fabric. Use a measuring tape or a piece of ribbon to measure how long you'd like the purse strap to be. So grab your model, stick the measuring tape or the ribbon over their shoulder, and use that as a guide. Then lay this down onto your fabric to determine the length of your strap pieces. Using that hard ruler again, measure and cut out 3 strips of fabric that are that length and 2.5 inches wide. One of these strips is going to be for the flower embellishment. Place 2 of the large rectangles right sides together and pin. Here we didn't pin, but really you should. It'll make it a lot easier. Sew around 3 sides of the rectangle, leaving 1 long side open. Make sure to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Here's a tip for teaching kids to sew. Help guide the fabric at first with your own hands. So here I'm helping little C move the fabric. Make sure to show your child how to thread the machine and ask them to help you thread it again so they really know how it works. This sewing machine is a little Janome, and I will put a link to it in the description box below. Guide your child's hands as they sew and encourage them to stop the machine whenever needed. Make sure to let them know that they can stop and start again whenever they need to. A simple project like this purse is a really great way to teach seam allowances and straight stitching to your child. So something like this that just involves lots of straight lines and pivoting and square sewing is just a perfect project for them to begin. Now repeat this with the next 2 large rectangles to create the lining piece. So you're going to put them right sides together and then have your child sew around 3 of the sides. another kid's sewing tip. Place the petal on a box or a stool to help your child reach it better. Clip all of the corners of the bag pieces, and then turn one of them right side out, making sure to push out those corners so they're nice and even. Place this one inside the other bag piece. Next, place the two handle pieces right sides together and pin. Now you're going to sew along both long sides of that strap with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Here's another kid's sewing tip. Don't forget to talk about the importance of back stitching at the beginning and the end of each seam. Now turn the strap piece right side out. You can use the help of a knitting needle if you need to. Now fold the third long strip in half lengthwise for the flower embellishment. Sew a long stitch about 1/4 inch from the raw edge. Pull on one of the threads to gather the strip. Next, you're going to iron the purse strap to make it nice and flat. You're going to be placing it between the purse and the lining, but make sure it's straight like this. Then tuck the strap between the purse and the lining and pin it onto the side seams like this. Make sure those side seams are opened up and flat as you pin. This will create a nice smooth finish on the outside of your purse. Now sew along the top of the purse with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, leaving at least a 4 inch opening. Once you're finished that, flip the purse right side out through the hole that you left. Now tuck that lining down into the purse. Iron the purse, especially that top edge, to make sure it's nice and flat. Now sew a 1/4 inch from the upper edge of the purse, sewing that hole shut. To make the flower, wrap your gathered piece of fabric into a spiral shape like this. Hand sew it together to secure it. The flower where you want it to go onto the purse and hand sew it onto the purse. This can be another great project for your child if they want to try out hand sewing. So I'm basically just tacking it down every inch or so from the lower petal into the purse itself. And finally, if you want to, embellish the flower with a bead or a gem glued into the center. We just used a hot glue gun. And that is it. You and your child have finished your beautiful purse. Like I mentioned, this is a fantastic beginner's project if your child wants to try sewing or if you want to try sewing, and it's really fun and beautiful. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more DIYs for your home or for yourself. And I will see you again next week. Bye. Want to say bye? Bye.
Why do a video with me too?
We'll do one with you next week, okay? For more tutorials, please visit thediymommie.com and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.